For the people that are, I think, that are on the call that are chomping at the bit to actually adopt some of this. By the way, the statistic that we've been running with is that actually about of those active files, semi-active files, only about 25% of them will need to be retrieved and actually imaged. We'll see if it proves out to be true, but that's roughly the number we're expecting it. But for the people that are chomping at the bit, we also have to realize that there has been this change management that's happening to us because of the pandemic. So attorneys, for example, are so reluctant to change, so reluctant to give up that hard copy, that paper copy. And the pandemic has actually forced them to realize, wait a minute. And if you'll talk to some of our clients or some of the people on this call that are with larger law firms or some of the guests that we've had in the past, they've said, you know what? One of the things that really surprised us is how much attorneys were willing to embrace receiving an electronic version of their documents because it was so much more convenient to receive it at home. And then once you make it electronic, there's so many more things you can do with it too, in terms of exchanging it and annotating it and doing all kinds of, searching, all those kinds of things. So it's the change management is happening for us, I guess, is the point I'm making. And it's pretty exciting to see that we are really at the cusp of something that could really finally get us to closer to a full digital than before.
And John, a lot of the things that forced this, right, was Zoom meetings, and then you get Teams, and everybody's working in Teams now, and now you start seeing data going into Teams, right? And they're exchanging data and things like that. So people that would prefer the face-to-face, were forced to shift that, and now seeing that data can flow and shared, easier. It's so interesting talking about agile records management, because as soon as this started happening, we were contacted by so many of a large part of our businesses, law firms, and we were contacted by so many of our law firms saying, hey, do you have a connector to Teams? Because data's starting to go into Teams, and we need to manage that data and to make sure, when all of this comes out and we're back in the office, we don't forget that what's in Teams, right? So we built out a Teams connector there, but that's kind of the agile thinking of like, okay, what's getting created? How are we making sure that we're going to be managing that? And from that transformation of being forced to be remote, those we heard the same thing. We literally heard the lawyers are liking that they can get it on their screen. A number of firms were still afraid that they're getting it on their screen and then hitting the print button at home, which is one of the things they're like, okay, we got to make sure that Bill doesn't have a stack of boxes now in his garage, that when they come back or Sue, so.